Mm-mm. Whoa,
Good
whoa.
morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the two dumb Yinzers. The two dumb Yinzers, Mike. The
Too
two,
dumb yet.
the dumb,
Two,
two dumb
two,
Yinzers. See
two.
how it rolls off the tongue? The first time we did, we was like, we're gonna even go with that. It's
I know,
the
right?
word dumb and it's spelled wrong, and
And that makes it perfect too.
now we
Especially like if I'm trolling on Twitter, people are like, you can't even spell dumb right. That's the whole point.
it just rolls right off the tongue now.
It
You
does.
said
It
it so many
does.
times.
Yeah. I love
The two dumb Yinzers. The two dumb Yinzers.
It still makes me giggle to this day.
Yeah. Yes, it is episode 318 of the two dumb Yinzers. I just want to talk about this real quick because I just seen it within the last half hour. I brought it up to Mike briefly before we came on the air. LeVeon Bell. This is a story to me. LeVeon Bell says that he wants to retire a Pittsburgh Steeler. He won't rule out playing for the team again. And quote, might come back for a preseason game. End quote. Is this even a possibility, Mike? I mean, is this and the thing is, I understand he could come back and he could retire a Steeler, which,
Yeah.
that's cool with me and I dig it. But can he, I mean, is it even with everything the Steelers are doing, are kind of like a tight rim machine right now. Everything is going a certain way to get this team back to where they want to be. I mean, is something like this even a thing? Is there a possibility that Le'Veon Bell could even play in a preseason game for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Like just a couple carries here and there, sign them to like a little contract.
Because most times they don't even
Usually,
play when you do this.
no, you get a one day
Know,
contract, you retire as a
yeah.
Steeler. I think it would be cool. It would be nice to see him back there one more time to get this is like one more little handoff, nice little run, call it a career.
Yeah.
Because
Like a
I
hand
know,
job to send them off,
Yeah, I know like a lot of people hate Le'Veon Bell for the way it went down, but I thought he did nothing wrong. He played every single game that he could play. He played hurt. He gave it all out on the field. He left, he balled out for the Steelers. And, it came down to him wanting to get a contract paid fairly. He did everything that he needed to do. They franchise tagged him, so he held out like he was allowed to. And so I have no ill will toward him. The Steelers did what they had to do. He did what he had to do. And my God, that's business.
I think the thing is, I'm not, I don't care, I mean, he was good when he was here. I have no problems with him. I just think that, to play, you know what I'm saying? They're building a team here, and that's kind of like a distraction kind of a thing. Even though there's no negatives to it, it feels like it could be a distraction and take away. And even if it is for two handoffs in the preseason, it just seems to me like you're going outside of what you're doing to appease him. But on the other hand, like I said, I don't think fans would mind. I mean, you're going to get your idiots. You're going to see online people are going to be going on and on about it. But I don't know that the chance that he plays even a couple of downs, I think is a slim chance.
I would love to see it personally because he's one of my all-time favorite Steelers that I watched play. This guy, he totally changed the way running backs play in the NFL. He brought a lot of excitement to this team. He played hard for this team. Like I said, he played injured for this team. He left it all out on the field. He didn't choke games away for the Steelers. What's the worst?
Again,
he got busted for a pot. Ooh,
see, I don't even think this is all. To get a better contract. I don't even think this stuff is what's in question, though. I think that's all fine.
Well, I think him coming out there to do a couple of carries, left, run right up the middle.
I don't know if anybody ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen this. Where somebody actually comes, plays for a couple. I mean, the fact that he's playing for a couple downs would be just to appease himself, if you think about it, because it really is doing nothing for the team. If he would come back, sign a one-day contract, and retire, that would be the normal thing. Of course, you see that often. But the fact that he wants to come in and play. That's different. I don't know if I've ever seen this. To come back and play or to come back just to make an appearance and carry the ball 2 times in a preseason game.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's odd. I don't know what to make of that in a sense that is this something that could actually formulate and be a thing?
It could work. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to free up, one roster spot for the guy. You're going to cut someone for a day that has really no chance of making the team anyway. Yeah. It's a 90-man roster. You cut the 90th guy on the roster to let Lev Bell come back one more time. I'm all for it. My God, we still need a third running back. Let's see if he has anything.
Yeah, I'm sure he could be the better of anybody that we have going for that spot, even
Exactly.
after being out this long. Good morning, Derpy.
Derpy.
Your microphone is off. See, I see his mouth moving. I see.
Dang it. I'm just dancing my way in. Here we go.
Yeah, I see. Now, when you're moving, is that thing moving with you? Is that what's going on?
I'm just moving my head, and it just goes side to side. So there we go. Yeah.
So we're talking about LeVeon Bell, Derpy. Derpy wants to retire us, or Derpy wants to retire still. Of course he does. The LeVeon Bell wants to retire a Pittsburgh Steeler, won't roll out playing for the team again, quote, might come back for a preseason game. What's your opinion on that, Derp?
I want to be opposed to it.
I'm just telling Mike, I mean, I guess there's no harm in it, right? There's no harm.
There really isn't. I mean, there really isn't. I mean, if he wants to retire, I'd rather see him as a Pittsburgh Steeler retire as a Pittsburgh Steeler.
And again, I don't think that's the issue. I'd like to see him retire Pittsburgh Steeler as well. I don't think I've ever seen this where somebody would come back to take a couple of handoffs and then retire. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's preseason, why haven't we seen this before? Is it even a thing? Is it, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I guess that it falls within the guidelines of everything, right?
It does. Yeah. There's no rule saying you can't. I would love to see it. It would set a new precedent in sports. Because like you said, most people, they sign their one-day contract, nice little ceremony, a couple of nice interviews, and boom, you're done. They come out there and just play a couple downs here and there. It's sports is fun. This is supposed to be fun, and I would love to see it.
You know what? I hope it happens.
It's not hurting anyone. Literally, it's not hurting anyone if this happens.
Yeah.
He's not taking a roster spot. He's not limiting someone's chances of making the team. Like I said, he's literally be replacing the 90th guy on the roster for a day. So
yeah,
it's probably like the first week of preseason games, right?
Yeah, it's some scrub who's never going to make the team. So you know what, Lev Bell, bled black and gold. He left it all on the field for this team. So honor him. My God, I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. I didn't know what to think of it. It's an odd, like I said, you don't see this. You see people going back in that one-day contract retiring, but you don't see this. This was a little bit different. So I wanted to definitely double check with you guys. Speaking of Le'Veon Bell, if this is your thing, if this is your interest, you could tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, guys. Let me see if I could find it here. Saturday at MVP Arena. The Albany Empire is taking on the Fayetteville Mustangs. And in this game, guys, it is a fact. Our boy, Antonio Brown's going to be suiting up and playing for the team that he is a partial owner for, the Albany Empire. Are you guys interested in seeing this at all?
I'll watch the highlights. I'm not going to go find the game to watch it, but I do want to see, at his age, can he still go out there and play? He did a couple routes in practice, and that's it. I want to see if he still has anything in the tank.
What's the Arena League? I mean, how hard could it be? This guy was one of the best receivers ever. I'm sure he could pull it together.
You're hoping muscle memory can take over, but these guys that are playing in the Arena League have at least been playing and practicing. What is AB keeping in shape? But my God, he should go out there and dominate. But you know what? He's the owner of the team. Go out there, get butts in the seats, baby.
Yeah. That's what he has to do, especially, I don't know, the crazy situation he's in and what he's up to. You almost, this is almost a natural step. If he didn't get on this field and play, it would feel weird at this point.
It would. This is AB, man. He wants all the attention on himself.
Yeah. And on the board, Nicole says maybe Le'Veon Bell needs some money. Just asking. You know what? I don't know. For the thing is, I mean, he wants to come back to retire. So I mean, there really isn't any money on the line anyway. He'll come back, he'll retire, take a one-day contract, whatever.
He just he's dropping a new album, I think.
Yeah, he's fighting, and he's making money in boxing.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: what if AB then wants to come back for a game and play a couple snaps for the Steelers in the preseason?
No.
Like this becomes a story, and we're like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Everybody likes it. Le'Veon Bell, let's do this. And then next week, Antonio Brown gets on Twitter and tweets, and he says, I want to come back and play one game as a Steeler.
No, God, no. No, not for him. No, not for the way he left the team. And he left the team in a bad way. He was, and the stuff he said about Ben and Tomlin. No, he burned a lot of bridges. Lev Bell was just going over that's the contract dispute. That's business. AB left personal. He had
is it really personal? The guy's a nut. Everything he does is crazy. I mean, could he chalk it up under his CTE or whatever his deal is? I mean,
no,
people just wouldn't accept.
They wouldn't accept. No, like the people will barely even accept Lev Bell. They make him out to be some type of villain, which I never understood.
Yeah,
the guy, like I said, he put his heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into this team, and then just because a contract dispute where they made him out to be the bad guy, I don't get it. I don't get it. But no, AB, no, that guy's done. He needs to be away from the NFL. The NFL just needs to stop doing anything for him, and teams need to stop doing anything for him.
Well, let me ask you this: you talked briefly about contracts. You have coming up next season, Mike. Mm-hmm. The contract of Alex Highsmith is up. Let me ask you this: if nothing gets figured out here, and this season goes through, and TJ Watt goes down with a torn pec in the second or third week of the season, and he's out most of the season, do you think that puts Highsmith's the leverage on the negotiations for his contract in jeopardy in a sense? Because now he's playing this he'll be playing the entire season basically without that TJ Watt factor on the other side. Do you think that if TJ Watt's out for 14 games or if he's there every game, do you think that will significantly affect how it is that Alex Highsmith's contract eventually comes out?
He better hope his contract gets signed, sealed, and delivered before the start of the
season. I agree.
I have his stats right here. He had 14 and a half sacks last year. I'm seeing all over Twitter. That's better than one of the posts. Right. That's better than Micah Parsons. That's better than this guy. In the games that TJ Watt missed, he missed 6 games? Alex Highsmith had 3.5 sacks.
Yeah.
In those games that he was gone. So he had 11 sacks with TJ Watt, and 3 of those 11 came in one game. So he had 3.5 sacks in 6 games that TJ Watt missed. He did nothing when TJ Watt was out. He was not a difference maker. He was not a game
No, he needs that. He needs that.
He's a great number 2. Don't get me wrong. I have been a big Alex Highsmith fan since his rookie year. He showed potential. He's gotten better year over year, but he is not at that level of TJ Watt. He is not.
I just don't think he's anything special.
He's not a Bosa. He's not. He's a damn good number 2.
Right.
He's Bud Dupree 2.0 when he has
he's
a
solid
play,
linebacker.
And that's what you need. That's all you need across from TJ Watt is a solid number 2, and that's what he is.
And I think he's going to want too much money.
Yeah, people are saying, "Oh, pay that man. Just give him what he wants. Give him $20 million a year." He's not that. I wouldn't even give him 10. I wouldn't even give him $15 million a year.
No.
But, that's probably what they're going to have to do because, the numbers say that. But without TJ Watt, it's showing right there in black and white. He did nothing without TJ Watt. I think he had 13 tackles and 3.5 sacks without TJ Watt.
Yeah.
He was not a game changer.
If you're right, he has to be on his hands and knees, at night praying that TJ Watt stays healthy this season because if TJ goes down anywhere in the first 5, 6, maybe 5, 6 games, first third of the season.
Yeah,
I think Alex Highsmith is in big trouble as far as his contract negotiations go.
Yeah.
So I think that if he gets this taken sooner than later, taken care of, he's going to be set. So it just depends. And maybe the Steelers realize this. Maybe, and this is why, the Steelers might be kicking it down the road a little bit. You're not hearing so much about the contract talks anymore as before you were when the season ended. You were hearing a lot of the talks, and then it kind of tapered off. So maybe, just maybe, the Pittsburgh Steelers see this as well, which they should, obviously, if the fans see it and they're looking at it the same way. Let's the fans, not rush it, guys.
Yeah, the fans really love Alex Highsmith, but his best game without TJ Watt was week 3. He had 6 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks in that loss to Cleveland.
Okay.
And that was his best game. So I'm going to go real quick. game number 2, that's first one without TJ Watt, he had 2 tackles. Then that Cleveland game, the next game he had a sack and 4 total tackles. Then 1 tackle and a sack, 1 tackle, and then 4 combined tackles. That was all without TJ Watt. That is terrible.
Games with 1 tackle, games with 2 tackles are unacceptable for your outside linebacker.
For someone
TJ Watt is not in the lineup, that is not acceptable for anybody. I don't think that Mike, anybody across the league with those numbers should not be getting the money that he expects to be getting once negotiation times come around.
Even like looking, let's go in further. My God. So the first game back with TJ Watt, he had 2 sacks, 5 total tackles. That's good. But the next game, half a sack and a tackle. Game after that, when we won at Indy, he had a sack and 6 tackles. Okay. Then 1 tackle, 3 tackles. You did nothing. Then, 1 sack, 4 tackles. Then 1 sack and a tackle. That was it. Then a game where no sacks and 3 tackles. Then the last game of the year, 2.5 sacks, 8 tackles. So he had a lot of stinkers last year where he, on the stat sheet for tackles, it was nothing. And even like quarterback hits are clumped into one, handful of games.
Yeah.
So it tackles for losses. He only had 12. They were hit and misses. So like if you look at sacks, fuck yeah, great year. But the combined, you look at it, break it down, it was a handful of games again that made him look great. Kind of like the Cam Hayward effect.
So let me get this straight.
Make your sacks look great.
So we want Le'Veon to come back and take a couple handoffs. We don't want Antonio Brown to come back at all.
Correct.
And we want to basically to see what happens with TJ Watt before this contract gets figured out with Alex Highsmith.
Yes.
And as I said,
I like Alex Highsmith too.
Omar Khan comes walking into the office, into the boardroom, and he has paper in his hand. He has to say this as well. He can't be in a rush to throw money at Alex Highsmith because again, he's a very smart person. He sees this, and do you think ultimately that plays a role, Mike, in how they're going to handle this, or do you think that the TJ Watt effect plays no role at all in this decision?
I think the TJ Watt will play a role in very well for Alex Highsmith. I think that they see him as not quite an equal to, but that more or less that number 2 to
the counter
to TJ Watt. They see him as a number 2, and you know what? They're going to pay him not as much as TJ Watt, but I think he's going to get a contract north of $15 million a year.
I say you look at Bud Dupree's career, follow that, and you're going to get your answer how this is pretty much going to turn out with this guy as well. And again, I like Highsmith.
I do too, well. Man.
Even if he went somewhere else, I would love to see him do well because he's a great guy. But again, this guy is nowhere near these Micah Parsons, the TJ Watts, the Myles Garrett's, the Boses. He's just not. He's not. And again, I like Omar. I trust Omar. He's done nothing yet that I could even remotely complain about. So I think that the guys in the office will handle this correctly. And, to give him money anywhere near those other names that I just gave would be a crime.
Yeah, I think so too. But Alex Highsmith has gotten better year over year. You watch him play from rookie year.
I want to see him dominate a game.
Me too.
I don't want to see him have a really good game. I want to see him dominate a game.
Yeah, he had one dominant game, and that was the first game of the year. And then after that, he did. It was hit or miss, and he's a good player. I like him. I don't want to come off like I'm hating on the guy. I think he's a good player, but he is not at that elite level. He can be I think he can settle into being a perennial Pro Bowler. I think eventually he can be that guy to where if Watt's not there, he can take over a game. But right now, he's not that guy. He showed it last year. He was not that guy.
A couple more Steelers things that we do have here, but we have to move on, guys. Yesterday, we signed Cody Crest. He's a receiver, played at Sam Houston State.
Oh, when you look for receivers, baby, you
go to Sam Houston, baby.
Undrafted receivers out of Sam Houston State.
Sam Houston.
Cody I've Crest. Seen him play because my university close to me is in the FCS.
Okay.
So he's not that bad. But
I got a couple of numbers for him here. He's a 2-time all-WAC section. He last season had 36 catches for 548 yards, 2 touchdowns, and in 3 seasons he's had 131 catches, 1,715 yards, 9 touchdowns, and that's in a total of 31 games. At the end of the day, it's still somebody from Sam Houston State. At this point, I think that the organization is trying to get as many people in camp as possible to really look and see what we could do. Do I think that Cody Cress is going to be anywhere near this team come opening day? I do not. But I did want to announce that we did sign Cody Cress yesterday.
Cody.
One more Steeler thing. The line, they're going to be loving Kenny soon. Kenny takes them out for dinner yesterday. In my opinion, this is something that you should do as a quarterback in the NFL. If you know what I mean? It's something that all the quarterbacks that ever had a great relationship with their line, you see this. I almost think that it's something that you have to do. It's almost like I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
I would be concerned if he didn't do this.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So
hey, Kenny Pickett did it. Is the greatest dinner ever.
That's right.
It was the best meal ever.
Did they have?
What's that, Derp?
My question is, what did they have for dinner?
Derpy.
Well, I heard it was like an exquisite. I heard it was like fancy dinner. I don't. Yeah.
You know, and those linemen can eat too. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
and
he probably gets paid less than all of them.
Which,
yeah,
he does a couple of them. Yeah. But hey, he got that rookie first year, that rookie quarterback money, that first round pick money.
That's true.
He got that first round pick money.
That's true. That's always going to help. We have to scoot along over to the dime, and the Pirates open up a 3-game series tonight in Seattle. This game's at 10-10 tonight. So I like these kind of games, and there's another game that's a late game I'm going to talk about in just a second. I like the late games because in the evenings, you're kind of winding down. 10 o'clock comes around. Everything's usually over at this point. So I do like that. We got the 26-24 Seattle Mariners taking on the 25-24 Pittsburgh Pirates. Mike said yesterday, these two teams are very similar. I'm excited to finally see a series where the Pirates may have a chance. I don't recall if Mike gave us our probables yesterday, but George Kirby is going to be the starter for Seattle tonight, who's 5-3 with a 2.62 and 47 Ks on the season. And Mitch Keller is the ace. It feels like it's been about a month and a half since we've seen him. It's only been 5 days. He's coming in with a 5-1 record, 2.44 and 77 Ks. I like our chances. And also things, Mike, the free fall, we might have caught a branch coming down the free fall yesterday because the Brewers lose 5-0 to the Giants. I'm sorry. The Cubs lose 10-1 to the Mets, and the Cardinals beat the Reds 2-1. And that puts the division as this: Brewers in first place, the Pirates in second place at 1.5 out. The Cubs 4.5 games out, Cardinals 5 games, and the Reds 6 games. Maybe we might have caught a branch, Mike, on this free fall. I don't know.
I'm hoping
with Mitch Keller on the hill tonight, he gets the win and see if we can be back with a half a game.
You know what? I think we got it, baby. I think us, calling them out yesterday, that's what, it was a wake-up call.
Yeah, man.
They're like our two biggest supporters. These guys have had, World Series tickets since last year.
That's right.
They realize they need to turn it around, baby. But no, I'm looking forward to this series, man. Look at, like I said, Seattle, they have very similar to us, similar records, similar home and away records. I kind of want to see how
not the same offense.
That's true. Not the same offense, but we're like a similar team, and I want to see how we compete against someone at our level to kind of gauge where we're at.
Right.
Because right now, our record puts us second in our division. Their record has them I think fourth.
Right.
So it's they're fourth in the AL West. So I kind of want to see gauge. This will help gauge too. Okay, which is the AL better? Is the NL better too as well? So we'll get to see. But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can get some wins going.
It appears to me that the AL.
That's the question.
It appears to me that the AL is a lot stronger. You have your couple teams, the Dodgers and the Mets and the Braves, and anybody besides for that, I think that they don't. And they don't even compare. Those 3 teams in the NL and then the AL, I think is way stronger. What do you think, Derpy?
Yeah.
Excellent commentary.
No, they just are like
to know who was pitching.
Look at all the divisions over there in the AL. Look at, like as you said, Mike, teams that are in last place in the AL East will be in first place in our division.
Yeah.
So I don't even think that's a question.
Today it's Keller versus Kirby.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it was what's his name? Castillo.
Yeah.
If it was him, you guys might have a chance. I'm sorry.
Oh, we might get him. We might get him soon.
No, I was looking at the pitching matchup. It looks like we got some pretty good pitchers we're facing.
I looked too. I can't recall. I don't recall their names.
They all had
on our list.
Yeah, they all had winning records that we're going up against.
And that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, the series starts tonight. Let's hope they could win and hang in there at least. We called yesterday they started their free fall. I hope they prove us wrong. That game tonight is at 10:10. Also, Mike, a late game that I was going to mention also is on Saturday night. The Philly Stars are at the Pittsburgh Maulers. This game is at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So if you're into these night games or you're just, chilling in the evening and nothing's on, check out the Maulers tomorrow. Philadelphia comes in with a 3-3. The Maulers are 2-4. However, they are 2-1 in the division. So this game is big for the Maulers.
Oh my God.
In the division, they could hang in there. They could still hang in there. Only a few games left though. So check it out tomorrow. That is 9 o'clock. The Maulers, Philadelphia Stars.
Ooh, Pittsburgh Philly matchup, baby. Those are always heated.
The Women's Football League, the passion is off again. They had a bye again this week. They're 3-1. They have 2 games left. When they come back, they'll be hosting the DC Divas at home this time. And then also the last game of the year comes after that, Mike and Derpy. They play the Boston Renegades, which was a massacre the other way when we played up in Boston a few weeks back.
Ooh,
so they are off this week. They come back 2 weeks and then hopefully make the playoffs beyond that. In the NHL,
passion, baby.
The NHL, Vegas has to wait another day. The Dallas
They won
Florida has to wait another day because Dallas beats Vegas.
Yes.
They won in overtime?
Was it overtime? I don't know. I know the final count on it was 3-2.
I saw it was overtime.
And that puts the series 3-1 in favor of Vegas. Florida, I heard somebody make a candid remark on one of the social media. Somebody said, if Florida wins, we got to make sure you give Hextall a ring.
Yeah, I saw that.
In Florida, also, they overcame a 3-1 deficit to beat the President Trophy team, the Boston Bruins.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the 4th best team in 5-game series. They swept the league's 2nd best team in last round. This team, Mike, there's no explanation for what's going on, and I'm glad they did win because if that was us, this wouldn't be happening.
This is true. It's true. Very, very true.
So if anybody deserves a ring, it's Ron Hextall.
Hextall, F that guy.
In the NBA, the Boston Celtics stretch that series out a little bit. They bring the series to 3-2 in favor of the Miami Heat. The Denver Nuggets are waiting to get the finals started. I think Boston might come back and win this. They won.
At this point, they might.
They might, because like Miami's whole team is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
and the Celtics, if their guys start heating up the way they should, I feel bad for the Heat.
And when it was 0-3, I thought there's no chance. I thought there's no chance.
You win game.
Now that it's 3-2, I think that there's a really good chance.
Yeah. If they win game 6, I think they're
definitely coming back if they win game 6.
Yeah, if they win game 6, it's tight butthole time up in Miami.
It would be shitty. Wouldn't it be shitty if they made it to game 7 and then they ended up losing?
That would suck. Whoever wins, though, I think they're going to end up losing anyway to Denver.
Yeah, because they don't have a big inside.
Oh, no, Denver's nice. Yeah,
Denver's nasty, but I kind of want to see a Denver Heat matchup.
Denver and the Heat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Charlie Partridge, the defensive line coach for the Pitt Panthers, he won the Defensive Line Coach of the Year award. The only reason I really brought this up, I just want to talk about these numbers real quick before we finish up here, guys. Charlie Partridge, the defense for the Pitt Panthers since 2019, they had 51 sacks that season. That was 2nd in the whole country.
Holy smoly.
In 2020, they had 46, which was 1st in the whole country. In 2021, they had 54, which is 3rd in the whole country. And then last year in 2022, they had 45 sacks, which was 1st in the whole country. So whatever Charlie Partridge is doing, keep it up because they're amazing. College football sacks like this,
that's insane. That is insane. And he's put a couple guys in the NFL.
He sure did. And I can't wait to watch some of these guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Clancy does down in Tampa.
Yes, it's Savaka and Clancy. They're both on Tampa. I can't wait. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
I don't know why I blew a whistle there. 2dumyinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Head on over there. Links for everything that you would need for the 2 Dum Yinzers. Links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Let's see. Oh, yes, the merchandise store. Check it out. We've got 2 Dum Yinzers merch with our logo, and we also have the Bob Nothing, which you need to buy that now that the Buccos are sucking again.
Yes, it's true. Check it out, everybody. www.2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things over there. We are on all week long, 7 days a week at 11:30 a.m. And the show that we do every day gets uploaded at 8:00 p.m. over on Spotify. I'm working on something for this weekend, guys. I don't know which day we're going to do it, but I do have something exciting that we're going to do.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear, baby.
So you better prepare. Keep your thinking caps close, Derpy. Guys, I do have another Seattle Mariners trivia. You guys ready for some trivia for the day?
Yes.
I think Derpy was studying. Did you hear the way that he responded?
I think so. I think he has been.
That's all right. You could study. Just can't look at it when you're trying to answer. That's the only rule. You just can't look it up. Or have chat CGPTQ element or whatever look it up for you either, Mike.
I actually have Twitter on right now, just making sure there's no breaking news.
It always happens. Always happens after the stream.
And here we go, guys. You ready?
I am ready.
Simple one today. Tomorrow will be a little bit more complicated. I don't know if it will. Here we go. What year was the Seattle Mariners founded? Pretty simple, right? What year was the Seattle Mariners founded? I'm going to give you choices, so relax.
Oh, yeah.
Was it A, 1967, B, 1977, C, 1987, or D, 1997? I'm looking for the first year, the year that the Seattle Mariners were founded. 67, 77, 87, or 97? Take a moment, think that over. All right. I'm going to start with Derpy. You think that over, Mike.
I'm thinking.
I'm going to go over to Derpy first. Derpy, what year was the Seattle Mariners founded? Was it 1967, 77, 87, or 97?
Oh, I know it can't be 67.
Okay. Why can't it be 67?
Because of baseball cards that I have.
Okay.
It has to be 77 or 87, and obviously it wasn't. Those cards I have are not from 97. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. I like the logic. I like this thought process, Derpy. So either 1977 or 1987. What do you think?
I'm gonna go 77.
1977 is when Derpy says the Seattle Mariners were founded. Derpy, do you want that to be your final answer?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna lock you in on that, bud. All right, Mike. What year was the Seattle Mariners founded? Was it 1967, 77, 87, or 97?
I'm gonna go with 77.
77. You guys been doing a lot of agreeing lately. This is really worrisome, I gotta tell you.
I know, I don't like it.
All right, I'm locking on 1977. All right, guys. So, what was the year the Seattle Mariners were founded? Derpy says 1977 because his baseball cards told him. Mike said 1977 because he always likes to agree with Derpy.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
The answer is 1977, fellas. Great job. That was correct. 77.
I am the best.
Wouldn't you and Derpy be tied for the best?
No, I'm the best. Derpy took like 12 hours to answer the question.
That's all right. I like the thought process. I talk it out.
Collecting baseball cards isn't bad after all, everyone.
No, baseball cards was great.
That sounded like a shot. You're taking a shot at your mom there.
No.
Uh-huh.
Mike, anything before we take off for today, man?
I got nothing. Yeah. If you work, make sure when your alarm goes off on your phone, do not hold in the snooze button. Otherwise, you'll be an hour and a half late for work.
You held in the snooze button?
my phone got wrapped in my comforter, and it was wound tight, and it hit the buttons on the side, and I didn't hear the alarm go off. It just went straight to snooze for like 3 hours.
You would have just said the dog ate it.
No, Hey,
Derpy.
But hey, like I told my boss, the good news is I still have a half a bottle of rum at home.
There you go, Derpy. Anything before we take off, brother?
I'm gonna say something in Pittsburgh sports history.
Yeah, please.
1992.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh Penguins right wing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yager.
What's it? I can't pronounce.
Yager.
Yager.
Oh,
he scored a goal
Mm-hmm.
in Stanley Cup Finals against Chicago Blackhawks. Won 5-4.
All right.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the greatest goals in the NHL history.
Exactly. That's exactly.
I remember it clearly. There you have it, everybody.
That was today, though.
We will be back tomorrow, guys. Remember, we are on our 7-day summer schedule. We're on 7 days a week, 11:30 a.m. So we will be back over the weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. As I said, I have something in the works for the guys here, either tomorrow or Sunday. So I hope you join us. And for Mike, Derpy, Ryan, the two Dum Yinzers, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.